Okay, is everyone happy?
Yes.
Do you feel refreshed? Do you feel refreshed?
Because
Well, no, I haven't drank any yet. I just went and grabbed it.
Alright, so we're audible.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D, campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off, the party successfully fought off the spread of ichor infection among the thirst of Strixes that have been plaguing the Sundragon town of Chillblains. However, that came at a bit of a price. Lord Ephemeral and Queen Sundragon now know exactly what the bulk of you are and what your connection to the Concord is. However, Sundragon does not appear to think too badly of it, and Lord Ephemeral finds it intriguing, and all but demanded a small vial of Lucian's blood for Chillblains to study, but promised that in exchange for this, and of course the treatment of the Adama plague that still ravages his population, he would be willing to not only have his militia join Sundragon in the march against Barbarous to come to the aid of Queen Autumnfall, but also be willing to allow the party to stay in Chillblains as long as they wish, as he intends to conduct some research on the ichor. With that, Lucian and Sundragon shared a emotionally intimate night. The party all got a long rest, and we were just coming back at you guys generally, meeting in Queen Sundragon and Lucian's room, just going over the daily itinerary. Caleb and Tuco intend to head to Scarlet Lake and gather some of the rocks that they've been harvesting iron out of to try and mediate the deficiency that the ill population is experiencing. While that's happening, Zephyr, what will you be doing?
Well,
I think I sent What's-His to go get Zephyr.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Zephyr's gonna explore. I mean, I guess walk around the town.
All right. Lucian, what will you be doing?
Didn't we have a meeting today with him at sunrise?
Yes.
So I will be gearing up for that. I'll just kind of remind everyone to meet me back at the bathhouse, and I will let What's-His know to let Zephyr know that he is invited, though he can do whatever he wants.
Are we supposed to go there?
Yes, he did request that he would like to, get better acquainted with the rest
When
of
do
you.
we go there?
The meeting is technically at sunrise, but the lake harvest should only take maybe an hour or two. So you can feel free to do that and then head to the bathhouse. That's why Lucian's just saying to meet her there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's take a shirt.
Yeah. All right, so Tuco and Caleb to the lake, Lucian to the bathhouse, Zephyr just hanging around town. Kara, what will you be doing?
But Kara was going to come to the lake too because they're also aquatic.
Well, yeah, then just asking to make sure.
Yeah, Carol could go for a swim.
Okay. And, all right, then. And What's-His? Again, Zephyr's just walking around town. It's not like he's attempting to hide, so you can keep track of him fairly easily. What will you be doing?
Honestly...
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's-His or,
What's-His?
Sorry.
Okay, so
No worries.
probably what he's gonna do is he's gonna be impatient, he's ready to get the conversation with the governor over with, and he's ready to get on the move now that he knows more about what's going on.
Okay.
So he's just so nobody can even see him.
Okay. All right, you and Lucian at the bathhouse, Zephyr wandering about town, the rest of you heading to the lake. And that is where we will pick up.
I was gonna be like, if that is where we're going to.
Yeah. Just like, yeah, 10-minute session, everyone. All right. Tuco, Caro, and Caleb. Once you meet up in Lucian and Sundragon's room, it doesn't take long for you to, figure out. You've already discussed the plan a few times. You know what you're getting in for at this point, and the three of you make your way out onto the town. Now, I will say, are you just gonna, because the town literally is just built around the Scarlet Oasis, so do you wish to just basically dive in from wherever's convenient, or do you want to try and find an actual sort of like area with which to get access to the water? Doesn't particularly matter, just, in case it becomes relevant.
Were you asking?
Basically, are you just going to, like, go outside, get to the dock, and jump in? Or are you going to, like, look around to try and find an actual, like, little smooth divot with which to swim in?
Who are you talking to?
Tuco, Caro, and Caleb, who are going out to the lake.
Basically, like, do we just want to jump in, or do we want to find, like, an area where it, like, just goes down?
I'd say, try and find an area.
All right. If that's good with the rest of you.
That's fine.
All right.
Caleb will make sure to have his cloak of the manta ray. Actually,
All right.
I just had a thought, because he doesn't want to ruin them whenever he jumps into the lake, and he's just going to have to take it all off again. He's just going to wear the cloak.
Okay.
So it's like, basically his dry land clothes don't get ruined.
All right. Noted. All right. Caro, you've already got your diving suit on. And Tuco, you have some chemicals up your sleeve that can assist you with this. Caleb, wrapping the cloak of the manta ray, pulling it from your bag of holding and wrapping it around yourself. Tuco, you see Caleb is now wearing this like kind of dark midnight blue cloak with some light gold trim, but the hood of it has like these almost like horn-like protrusions that give it a resemblance.
I bet it looks kind of cute, honestly.
Oh no, it does. It's actually an adorable little cloak.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's like if Batman was a stingray, like that sort of design. And
why are manta rays kind of like that?
I couldn't tell you. The three of you work your way around the various docks. Again, now that it is daytime, the actual commerce of Chillblains is back in effect. And after you guys' little show, they may actually be able to have some more productive nights going forward. Working your way along the canals, you eventually find, not too far from the front gates, while there is some dock structures, there is an area that smoothly flows in, presumably so that anyone bringing in canoes or boats from the front gates can just drop them off here and sail them into the oasis. So there's enough of a gap for the three of you to comfortably start walking in, and you begin to tread water bit by bit. Caro, your suit will naturally assist you with this. Not to mention, I believe you're amphibious anyway. Caleb, as long as you have the hood of your cloak up, you are able to breathe underwater, so you're fine. Tuco, I went over your inventory, and you do have the spell or chemical alter self, one of which you can do aquatic adaption, which gives you gills and webbing that not only lets you breathe underwater, you can swim as fast as you can run.
Oh yeah, Tuco would absolutely just like have a moment, like a little bit of showmanship as he like produces a vial that he has etched a little tail onto, like a little mermaid tail onto. Just a moment. Rats can swim underwater and hold their breath a while, but I might need to hold my breath for longer than usual. As he like takes a gulp and with a bit of retching, and it looks a lot less glamorous than he tried to make it look, but he gives a pained smile as voila, gills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tuco, as you take your mutagen chemical, I imagine likely a brewed Vexi concoction, webbing begins to sprout from between your fingers, and gills begin to trace up your neck as you can now breathe underwater and swim as fast as you can run. With that, the three of you are basically by far the best aquatically adapted. and the water as you trudge further in. You notice a few people in boats kind of looking at you oddly, but at this point they've come to expect unusual behavior from you guys. And one by one, Caro in your diving suit, likely enthused to be back in the water after being out in the desert. Caleb, wrapping your cloak around yourself and diving under. And finally, Tuco, just smoothly with that kind of rat style of swimming, kind of treading water before diving under.
How do rats have a unique way of swimming?
Yeah, they basically like kind of almost doggy paddle, but because of how long their bodies are, it looks really smooth. Like just their little legs are doggy paddling, and they're just kind of like just kind of scuttling their way along the water. It's adorable. Anyway, out of the three of you, are all of you just going to be looking for these iron rocks, or are you, or does anyone have any other sort of agendas that they want to do while they're down here?
Nothing I could think of.
Caleb?
What did you ask? I'm sorry, I was looking up rats swimming.
Basically, are you just looking for rocks, or is there anything else you want to do while you're down here?
I mean, he doesn't know of anything else down here, so he's just looking for the rocks that Tuco needs.
All right, Caro? All right, we'll circle back to you.
I'm here.
Okay. Anything you want to do while you're down here?
Are there fish here?
Yes. As the three of you go underwater, and with your various adaptions, you can easily look around comfortably. The water's a little on the murky side, obviously, with the constant disruption from the boats kicking up sand and silt. But looking around, you do see quite diverse aquatic life. Looking around, you can see these, like, turtle-like creatures covered in seaweed that almost forms these, like, tails to them. And you can see various fish swimming about. And Caro, your attention is drawn to one in particular. You see the nymphs of Griffon flays, or dragonflies, bobbing along the kind of shallows of the lake. So, yeah, just various fish, turtles, and dragonflies down here.
There's nothing, there's no, toothy fish, as it were?
Not that you can see. You imagine, given that this lake is a center of commerce, they're not going to let predators just roam it comfortably, as far as you know. Caro, if there's no business you wish to conduct with the creatures. All three of you, please make me survival checks. And Tuco for
by the way, I was gonna say I wanted to change my answer. Is there any materials or anything like down there, like pearls or anything like that?
You make me an investigation check. D20, D20, and then you add 6. You're very good at investigation. While that's happening, Caro and Caleb, if the two of you are just going to be looking for the rocks, you can either both roll me survival, or one of you can roll with advantage.
17 plus 6?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All right, thank you. I'll come back to you.
What's your modifier?
I'm not sure. Matthew has my sheet.
No, they were asking Caleb. Caleb's modifier to survival is +1. For survival, it's +1.
So do you want to roll separately, or do you want to advantage?
What's your survival?
It's +2.
I'll just give you advantage then.
Okay.
It's figured to be higher.
All
right.
Ranger.
Well, Ranger doesn't automatically mean good at survival.
I know, it's just
Alright.
typical.
All right. What was it, Kato?
18.
What was the non-advantage one, if you don't mind?
The lower one?
Yeah.
16.
Okay.
The order of them.
Yeah. Again, I like to flavor it. So
The first one was lower.
Okay, thank you. Okay. As the three of you swim deeper and deeper and eventually manage to make it to the deepest part of the Scarlet Lake, the three of you kind of nodding to each other underwater, disperse, and begin to search the area. Tuco, in your case, just for anything useful, and Caleb and Caro searching for the rocks that you came all this way to find. Caleb and Caro, as the pair of you search the area, you're both able to find pretty hearty helpings of these rocks. They just gather at the bottom of the lake and just absorb the various silt and minerals that get disturbed by the boat traffic above. And Caro, gathering as much in your bag as you can, you make your way back to where the group met up. And you see that Caleb is toting along, and Caleb, because of your bag of holding, you were able to get an even heartier helping. And kind of you and Caro quickly going over your hauls, you estimate that you're able to get a pretty healthy amount of these, and they were pretty easy to find, and there doesn't appear to be anything here that disturbs you. So you have quite a few, and if you need more, you can always come back. A good haul, things considered. The rocks are smooth, but kind of like they're smooth in look, but feel kind of lightly rough to the touch, as again they're covered in like minerals.
Those minerals, though.
Those spices, though. And Tuco, as you scour the lake, you know that the other two are easily able to make and gather up enough of these rocks. So you focus yourself on finding just any interesting stuff that might be down here. Searching around, you know that those turtles I mentioned, which you would know are known as minugame, these turtles with seaweed-like tails and algae, supposedly are incredibly long-lived, even by, tortoise standards. So while you're not positive, you do highly suspect that if you were to gather up some of the algae and seaweed from their tails, you could probably make some kind of vitality or health potion out of it. However, what I imagine would interest you the most is the Griffon Flay nymphs. As it's been spoken of by your people that their wings are great for storing information. People will take their wings and basically work them into a paper-like material, which is used for spell scrolls. And supposedly their wings contain like information, sort of like how some believe that the rings of a tree can tell you about its life if you know how to read them. Oh, the wings of a Griffon Flay are said to work the same way. And you also know that pretty much all of its organs are useful in medicine, and you know of a specific recipe that can cook these creatures to make a medicine that treats fevers.
Ooh. Yeah, he'll gather up some of those.
Okay. Grabbing some of the nymphs from the water, which I know you watch a lot of nature stuff like this, so you can imagine how that is for them.
Oh, God, yeah.
And stuffing the nymphs into a little storage compartment in your pocket. Do you just wish to gather the Griffon Flay larvae, or is there anything else you wish to grab while you're looking around?
I'd say, look around. Like, it's underwater. He's got time.
All right. Looking a bit deeper into the lake, again, you see several of the rocks, which Caleb and Caro have already gathered. The minugame turtles swimming about, leaving trails of algae and seaweed behind them. More Griffon Flay larvae, likely their population booming a bit now that the Strixes have been dealt with. And other than that, you're gathering up more of the nymphs to make medicine out of them, and looking at the various rocks and things. And you've you're pretty confident you've found everything, at least underwater, that you can obviously observe would be useful, and you're just about to start working your way back when you see a dark shape in the water begin to kind of like lightly follow behind you.
Uh-oh. Tuco in his head is just kind of like, oh, please be a mermaid, please be a mermaid, please be a hot mermaid.
And
Carol's still in the water?
Yeah, you guys are still in the water, but you guys are back at the meeting area, which Tuco is currently kind of worming their way back towards.
He would try and quicken his pace.
All right. Yeah, I'll say, if you're going at a sprint, Caro and Caleb, as the two of you are going over your haul of the rocks, you see Tuco swimming their way kind of very quickly and disturbed looking out of the silt. And as the two of you watch behind them, you can see, again, moving at a slow, agreeable pace, is a dark shape that to the two of you actually looks fairly familiar. While it is clearly not the same creature, you do recognize the crocodilian body plan of something similar to the Spinosaurus you had encountered back in Ergos.
Going to give Caro that oh shit look.
Uh-oh.
Carol will narrow her eyes.
As it kind of swims its way along the bottom, it just watches the three of you almost curiously. And as it swims, you can see, Caro, that it has a orange-scaled texture to it. The light streaming in from the desert sun into the lake just barely letting you make out that it has orange scales. And it just swims in a circle around the three of you, just watching you.
Yeah, Tuco, is there anywhere to get out at this point, or?
Yeah. This is actually partially why I wanted to establish if you just jump in from the docks or work your way in from the shore, because the shore gives you a place to run back to.
No, yeah, Tuco doesn't waste any time at this point. He's not gambling on a mermaid. I'm not that lucky, and he tries to get out of there as quickly as possible.
All right, so Tuco just takes off back towards the shore, and the orange crocodile kind of watches him go for a little bit until he's out of visual range. Again, the silt and water kind of hiding his retreating form.
Scimitars seem to be giving any indication of danger. Because it's a scimitar warning.
Yeah,
Yes.
and no, not yet. Although you do know that it mostly warns you either the moment aggressive action is made or if you're being ambushed. It knows that you know it's here. It's just kind of swimming around watching you.
Yeah, I think Caleb's going to indicate to Caro that we should probably head back. Because, underwater can't really talk.
Yeah. Caro nods and starts swimming back.
All right. The two of you kind of nodding to each other, just start joining Tuco in a quick retreat to shore. And with one last glance over your shoulders as the creature fades into silt and salt, you can see the orange crocodile just watch you go. And then seemingly the moment it's convinced that you're leaving and not coming back, it just turns around and starts swimming back to the place where Tuco found it.
I guess we swam into its territory.
Tuco, you swim before making it to shallow enough waters to where you can start walking, and you clamber out of the water back onto the shoreline. Dripping wet, but unlike normal, you're not like coughing or sputtering up water. It feels almost comfortable because of your current aquatic adaptions. And not too long after, I'd say at best, like just a few seconds, you hear splashing as Caro and Caleb exit out of the water as well.
Caleb
And they both appear unharmed.
Caleb will...
Did you fucking say that shit?
Yeah, it looks like something we ran into back in, Hey, Caro, what was that place called again?
Yeah, just nobody in this party can remember the names of anything.
Lucian can, but she's not there.
Well, it was that dark elf place with the lizard people.
The Underdark.
You forgot that.
Well, no, it's because there's more to it.
Well, no, like the
Oh.
place had a. I think it was called
It was-
Foreman or something
It
like
was
that.
Arago's son.
Well, they don't know that.
Well, you're not here.
Yeah.
I think it was called
Yeah, the Tuka just kind of looked at the group before just being like, either way, I'm great. We're all back with preferably no bites. Ugh. He
Yeah,
kind of
we
just
got
shakes
those
himself
rocks.
off to get dry.
What are we going to do with these rocks? Are you going to like study them and make a cure from them?
I'll do my best, though I can't promise a miracle. Though I can promise my best.
Well, I guess that's all we can promise, right?
No, yeah. I never promise perfection because then there's lawsuits.
Well, I guess we should go meet up with Lucian at that bathhouse. So she won't nag us about that meeting.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, Carol, you good with that?
Yep.
All right. Shaking the water off of yourselves, Caleb quickly redressing, and I imagine taking the cloak off.
I mean, he's going to the bathhouse where he's going to be the undressing.
Oh, fair. So do you want to just keep the cloak on
Yeah,
for...
he'll just make sure the cloak is covering him up pretty well.
All right. Caleb deciding to save yourself some time. You basically the equivalent of going straight from the pool to the little shower room off to the side. The three of you...
We'll hold the hood down, though.
All right. The three of you start working your way toward the bathhouse where Lucian and What's-His await you. While that's happening, Zephyr, as you explore the town, what are you doing?
Are there any shops that they have? I mean, I don't know how prosperous this place is, so...
Well, is there anything in particular you're looking for, or are you just trying to get a gauge on like how wealthy they are?
Nah, I'm not... at least I don't have plans to steal yet.
Yet.
Things may change, but I was trying to think of like shops. No, I guess a general store.
Okay. Zephyr, taking a walk around the town, you see that there's a variety of shops. A lot of this city's industry is just selling exotic goods to travelers, as they're in the middle of an oasis in the desert. So if anyone's in the desert, they're going to go to these guys for, a place to rest and get some water, and might as well buy some shit while you're here.
Mhm.
You see a number of interesting things that you haven't seen in other places. You see a dedicated store for selling exotic pets. You see a bowyer who's selling exotic handmade long-range weaponry. And you see a store run by an alchemist who's selling gunpowder and gunpowder weaponry. But a general store is easy enough to find. What do you wish to buy? Or are you just kind of seeing what they have?
I mean, I figured that'd be like too vague, and that's gonna be so. I guess I'll ask them if they have thieves' tools.
Okay. Whether the man thinks anything unusual of you asking for such a thing, you can see it's a big, hulking human man with dark skin and one of those kind of fuzzy fur hats. And you can see a massive axe strapped to his back, presumably for self-defense, you hope. And he kind of looks to you as he was just kind of sitting kind of half asleep in front of his wares. But he kind of smirks to you, and lockpicks, stethoscope, ball bearings, I got the works. he reaches in and starts kind of like haphazardly stuffing things into a little mat that he then starts rolling up. But you can see he's piling in like a good set of things. Lockpick, like a little stethoscope so you can hear the sound of a safe being cracked, ball bearings, things of that nature. And he eventually lays them out before you, all rolled up into this little mat to make it easier to carry. And 25 gold pieces for the lot.
All right. And he'll pull out, he'll bring out 25 gold.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. He gives you a nod and hands you the mat of things and takes the money. And anything else?
Trying to think of all the situations I can find myself in, but at the moment...
Yeah, prepare for anything.
Yeah. At the moment, I can't think of anything I need.
All right, off with you then. Thanks for your business, little man.
All right. Zephyr leaves.
All right. Do you plan to go to the bathhouse, or are you just going to keep wandering the city while the meeting happens?
I don't know anything about this bathhouse, so no one told
Well,
Zephyr.
we established that What's his passed the word along to you before you left.
Did he? Did he?
Unless you're going out of your way to leave early. But yeah, that's where we left off on last session.
Leave early.
Well, even then, I would have gone and found him.
Yeah, because we mentioned that, yeah, you're not like sneaking, so you're not particularly hard to find.
Oh.
Just look for the shortest character you can see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't know he saw me and didn't talk to me. I was just like, okay, that kind of happened.
Again, you don't have to go. I'm just saying, like, you can if you want to.
Okay. Well, I guess since he knows about it, I was on the assumption I didn't know, so...
Yeah. We established during the recap that, if he didn't tell you in your room, then, just found you wandering the city and passed it on before going to join Lucian.
Yeah. By the way, since he's being told this, I guess he's going to be more frustrated, because he definitely didn't like this situation. He's a lot more frustrated than...
I guess Gil would have also said, the sooner we get this meeting done, the sooner we can keep going on our way to your home.
Either way. But he'll begrudgingly head to the bathhouse.
Okay. Tuco, Keto, and Caleb. Again, in total, your little excursion into the lake only took you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. And Lucian and as you wait in front of the bathhouse, you see the three lake divers approach, all soaking wet, but otherwise uninjured and unbothered. And shortly after, Zephyr makes their way from up the road, looking a little frustrated, but present, which is more than what Lucian expected.
Okay. I'm going to use prestidigitation on the three of them to just dry them up and make them look presentable.
All right.
Woo! Thanks, last.
And the queen is here, right?
Yes. She arrives shortly after Zephyr does, looking a little haggard, and it's obvious that she snuck in another quick nap before actually getting up to come here. And kind of brushing her hair back, not like taming it in any way, but like just keeping it out of her face. She kind of does a quick head count of everyone, and oh, awesome, we're all here. Well, that'll keep this simple.
That hair of yours.
Nobody touches my hair.
I pout.
You got everything you need from the water, little man? Referring to Tuco.
Yeah. No, I know. Tuco would just kind of like give her like a little, yeah. Yes, I got it. As he like presents it.
Awesome. I don't know how much you're going to be able to accomplish with rocks and bugs, but you guys are the doctors. You know better than me.
You'd be surprised, Missy. As he makes to, like, you know, before he, like, kind of looks at the group. So, we've got to talk to, that guy in there, right?
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah. Let's just get it over with, shall we? Look,
Yeah, why did
there
you tell him
wasn't-
everything?
there wasn't much of a choice, Tuco.
Well, sure, but haven't you ever heard of, you know, crossing your fingers behind your back and telling half-truths?
I am not the best liar.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
true.
And I find the truth is a little bit more. It's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, it's true though.
I'll
He is
never
crappy
stop
liar.
that.
Caleb was going to be like, you should stay out of politics.
I kind of give a weak smile. And I'll look at Agnes and, well, we're ready when you are, Your Highness.
Sundragon gives a smile
I
and
choose to ignore that.
and knocks on the door, and same rigmarole as before. The little slidey hole is opened, confirming you guys' identities, and the door is opened by, you recognize yet again, your tour guide, who kind of looks over all of you and, where's the colonel?
I don't know, actually.
Is
We're
he
getting
still
there.
invisible?
Yeah,
He's still invisible.
he's not going to turn
Oh,
visible again until tonight.
I'll just be like, Wes is.
Fine.
Tell him
fine.
you're here.
I'm here.
He squints a little suspiciously in what's his general direction, but after a moment does slowly nod and step aside to allow you all entry.
As we go by, I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder. Stay real.
He just kind of stares nonplussed, trying not to, give any indication of losing composure before shutting and locking the door behind you.
How well does he do?
He does pretty well, actually. Seems like a pretty stoic guy.
So, you called us in here. What do you want?
Lord Ephemeral, as per the norm, lays in his bath. And Sundragon kind of looks to you with some surprise, but a little smile on her face as Tuco, you step forward to, with none of the respect a lord typically gets, just demand answers. And Lord Ephemeral kind of stares at you for a moment, kind of considering your offense before electing to ignore it, seemingly.
I mean, he's the doctor.
Do you have what you need for my treatment?
Yeah, actually. We just got back from a swim. Though I'm still gonna need some time. I am a miracle worker, but I'm not, a god.
He looks to Lucian as all of you step in behind Tuco. Since Tuco kind of ran off ahead, electing to skip the disrobing, which the guards seem a little peeved, but don't stop you.
You're not taking my
Oh.
jacket this time, bitch.
Endeavor takes nothing off.
No, yeah, so regardless, yeah.
And those
And-
two, I put their stuff into my bag of holding, so it just disappears instantly. So they don't get any chances.
He looks to Lucian as she steps forward and, can you confirm this, Dr. Alefikir?
I've seen him work just a little bit. I've only known him for a short period of time, but he says that he's good, so I believe him. And you know my family.
Honest, I'm a bit insulted. You had to ask for a second opinion.
I do not make a habit of trusting strangers that come into my city, especially those that unleash monsters onto my people.
Hey, to be fair, we did not unleash all those monsters. You have a particular one to thank for that. Don't help us in. That whole pay together business is just not what I ascribe to.
I've explained things to the Lord Ephemeral, Tuco. I've explained everything that I possibly could.
Drix's blood mutation.
Yeah, I explained all about the Ichor and how it works, and basically everything that I know from studying it.
Oh, and by the way, is your blood infected too, or just your brother?
Just me.
Well, we don't know.
Well, and me.
I don't know about my brother. We haven't.
Yeah, all they know for sure is that everyone in the party except for Karo and Tuco is infected.
Okay. So yeah, with that, he would say, and besides, I'm one of the only other doctor you've got with a chance to actually help you who isn't infected myself.
He kind of squints at you and stares for a moment before giving a slow nod. And for those who do not already know me, and he gestures to Zephyr, I am Lord Ephemeral of Chillblains. I welcome you to my city, Zephyr Tebedra.
Yes, you royalty. Well, I appreciate your welcome. It sounds like we have business to attend to, though.
Indeed. Doctors, how long will this treatment take?
Well, again, you gotta give us some time.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think between magic and medicine, we should be. How long do I assume it would take to at least start treatment?
Make a medicine check.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can Tuco do the same?
Of course, yeah. Make a medicine check.
Okay.
D20 and Tuco, you add a +4 to this.
I add a +8.
19 plus 4.
20, 21, 22, 23.
19 plus 4. No, 19 plus 8.
Okay.
27.
Both of you think for a moment, and Lucian, by your measure, as mentioned when you guys first came to the city, there isn't necessarily a known cure. However, you do know that if you're going to survive it, you typically will after a few days. So basically, after a few days, either he will be dead or you will have fixed him, but you can't think of much more you can do than that. However, Tuco, given that you found those Griffon flays, between that and the extra iron and protein from the rocks, you're actually confident that you can engineer, again, if not a cure, at least a treatment. And you're reasonably confident that, given at most maybe 4 days, you would be able to not only use the Griffon Flay organs to purge the fever from their systems, but likely also granting them an immunity to it going forward.
Okay. I'll say to Tuco and to the Lord, well, if you just give us a few days, maybe we could come up with a medicine, and I'd say in less than a few days, you'll either start feeling better or we'll have to go with plan B.
Besides, how long have you been infected?
The symptoms presented themselves just shy of a week ago now.
Oh, only a week? That's a relief!
Yeah, that's a really big relief.
You're gonna pull through.
Yeah,
no. You would have known. You would have known it was serious if you were already dead. You wouldn't even be allowed to asking us these questions.
It's true.
You're a strong one.
He, at this, actually does give a smile and a bow of the head, And between you two's reassurances, and he kind of glances over all of you, and not seeing any sign of obvious deception, he thinks for a moment before, very well. For the timely easing of my fears, if you give me enough medicine to treat myself and my people, I will allow you to leave Chillblains, and I will grant you the assistance of my local forces to march against Governor Barbarous. I can spare 276 healthy men, including my best druids. If your medicine works, then I will be willing to relinquish them into military service in efforts to battle our greater foe.
I'll look to the queen.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And she goes into a bow after a moment of consideration. Thank you for your generosity, Lord Ephemeral. Of course, Agnes.
I don't like how you said he'll let us leave.
That's
well.
giving Zephyr a
I don't
bigger.
like it either, but you gotta act nice.
Like Zephyr's getting a bigger headache than he already has from Lucian.
Something else that I thought of, if Caro and I don't know if you want to, Zephyr, and Wes's, we could get some fish in here and some crawfish that will help with the liver failure as well. And omega-3 is really good for, restoring iron as well.
I prefer not to get involved.
Sarah, do you mind going fishing for a little bit?
No, it will be fun.
Yeah, I'll go with you and help fish.
Oh, I should warn you that there is a creature in that lake.
Yeah, it's like that one.
Yeah.
It's like that one that was in that lake in front of that temple.
That would be the Scarlet Dragon of the Lake.
Is there somewhere they can fish? Is there somewhere else they can fish that isn't, going to eat them?
The Great Dragon will bring no harm to any of you.
As long as you stay away from its nest or something.
I assume that, given your expedition into the Scarlet Lake, you likely simply got his attention and he was curious. He means none of you any harm.
If you'll say so.
We have coexisted on this lake with the great creature for decades. At most, they eat what is thrown into the lake, but have never brought intentional harm to our people.
That's good. All right, Tuco, do you want to get to work and let's try to get this cure underway?
You know it.
I'm going to be
coming with you. I'm going to be coming with that. I'll be going with whichever party's going fishing. I'll come with. I'll be working on it while y'all are doing your thing.
Very well. Dr. Lefakir, my squire will show you to our laboratory below the bathhouse. You may conduct your own research there if you do not wish to accompany Dr. Slitherite, was it?
Yes, actually. Good on you for remembering.
Let it not be said that Lord Ephemeral does not remember the names of those who do him great services. As for the rest of you, I formally welcome you to my city. As soon as the medicine is created, I will trust in your word and allow you to leave the city while my doctors distribute the cure among our people. But you would do well to remember that the last man who deceived me, long before I was acting lord of this city, I left him in the Scarlet Lake with a wooden stake driven through his jaw for the dragon to feast on.
I can assure you, my
If
lord, we are not trying to deceive you. We will do our very best to provide you the care that you all need.
Believe it or
And
not, I
unfortunately,
swore a Hippocratic oath. It'd be completely ruining my reputation if I totally went and poisoned you. Or gave you some shoddy cure. And he kind
As
of
I
like
said.
pretends his little lapels.
He smiles and actually gives a. As I said, I will be trusting your word. Do not give me reason to doubt it any further.
well, since we're
And
giving lightly veiled threat,
I would
your
like
people have already seen what I can do.
And I believe you have seen what mine can do. To
After how
what
many
was it?
casualties?
10 of you?
Caleb was just going to look at look in his general direction, I guess.
Well, yeah, because of the steam and heat in here, you can actually kind of make out where he is.
He's going to say, "Can you not threaten everybody that?"
Yeah,
we-"
like, we don't need to do threatening. He was only just trying to protect himself and his people.
And I'm
And
protecting
maybe,
us.
okay, well, you can protect us by keeping your fucking mouth shut.
Well,
Gonna be honest, putting a rod through someone's mouth and dangling them over a lake to be fish food is honestly one of the more mild of things I could think of if somebody betrayed me that bad.
Can
I-
we not have this conversation?
Yeah. All right, let's all move out, people.
Yeah, Queen Sandragon, would you please join me in the laboratory for a few minutes? I need to go over some things with you.
Sure. I'm not much of a doctor, though. Always had the family doctor take care of that. Oh,
no, it's not
my
that.
lord. And he nods and raises a hand. You are dismissed. Make sure you keep the colonel on a leash.
Glare in his general direction. How about you just go back to the inn, Wusses, and just read a book.
The colonel is going fishing.
Yeah, he's gonna go fishing. As Tuka puts an arm around him, like, he'll be fine. He'll have me with him.
Very well. And with that, you are dismissed from Lord Ephemeral's presence.
that first
And
days.
what's that?
That first days.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Caro, What's-Is, and Tuco heading back out to the docks to do some fishing.
What exactly was it that Tuco had grabbed that was good for feeders again?
Griffon Flay Nymphs.
Yeah, like little dragonfly nymphs.
So he's going to gather those and dive
Well,
into...
you don't know that they're medicinal. You just think they're little dragonfly babies.
Well, he's going to, at least for now, dive into the water and start pretty much spear fishing underwater.
You're looking for fish and crawfish. That's what Lucian sent you for.
He's going to hit the fish, not the dragon.
Okay.
So I guess Caleb will help with that, so he's still equipped for aquatic searching.
Okay, good. I was just about to ask you what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
Oh, there goes my alarm. We have to start the stream soon. What's up?
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, what were you saying, Tuco?
I was gonna say, yeah, and while they're doing that, Tuco's gonna be on the beach, actually setting up like his own like little makeshift lab.
Honestly, this is really charming visually. I just want to say. All right. Tuco, What's-Is, Caleb, and Caro heading out to the docks. Lucian and Agnes are escorted by the tour guide, who appears to be Lord Ephemeral's official squire, escorted down into the lab. And Zephyr, as you remain in Lord Ephemeral's presence, he kind of finally looks to you, and his elvish maidens kind of look you up and down curiously as he stares at you for a long moment before... I did dismiss you in case you did not hear.
Well, I heard.
Oh, that's not. That doesn't
Oh boy.
imply shit.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
My mind went in two places and I can't see either one.
Well, do you have some more personal business to discuss with me then?
Well, this could be just the frustration of the situation that we have been put into. Mostly by the elves, I get that. They tend to put us in situations like this. I should expect it, but they still surprise me with their stupidity, both of them. Mm-hmm. But, I also don't really. I like to be a businessman, but
so do I. That's what I was before I became Lord of Chilblains. A businessman.
Seems like you're straying from businessman, just simply trying to be a dictator.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on.
Do tell.
Oh no!
Well,
He's giving you the rope to hang yourself with, bro.
well, unless you were implying some other, light threat. It doesn't seem very businesslike to just simply state that we are not able to leave unless we comply to your request.
I had every reason to suspect that you and your team were traitors, bringing monsters into my land. Where you come from, to Bedra, I suppose it'd be a waste of time to ask if you simply allow prisoners to roam free. That's what you all are you not?
Oh, are you calling us prisoners?
Criminals.
I mean, me and my family do steal, and while I don't really am fair with the business of prisoners myself, frankly, doesn't suit me very well, so...
Then what does suit you, Zephyr to Bedra?
Business and a goal, but I simply say I would appreciate you to hold your, or how would I say this? Be careful about those little light threats. While I get you may have power, I get you may have power here and the sway of people, but I'm already in a bad mood.
What even is this?
Boy.
What are you doing?
You're going to great lengths to fight for the honor and safety of people you claim to look so poorly upon.
Oh. Don't misjudge me for thinking that I'm trying to protect them. I'm just simply annoyed. Like I said, I'm simply annoyed by the situation, and what annoys me the most is when a so-called businessman goes to carry on dictatorship.
Oh no.
Zephyr, make me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God.
Yeah, they're gonna fucking get back from the beach and they're gonna be like, what the hell happened?
So, natural 20. So 21.
Nice.
Boy.
Everyone in the bathhouse kind of stares at Lord Ephemeral, waiting for... Because, Zephyr, whether you understand it as such or not, what you just did is tantamount to an act of war. You are a foreign dignitary going in front of, like, the local politician and basically, like, calling him out in front of everyone.
Oh no!
A man who has staked and fed to dragons people for far less.
And he's just having none of it. Or I'm having, or Zephyr.
Well, We're going to be short a rogue soon.
Oh, Zephyr's fine.
Oh God.
You are an intriguing one, Prince Tebedra. Perhaps as fellow businessmen we can come to an understanding?
Well, by the sounds of it, there's no deal between me and you,
Not yet.
True. So, I'm not sure what you have to offer besides your... I can't think of anything, actually.
Your father and I were acquaintances once. And as the son of an old acquaintance, I think of you as my own blood. I have a considerable fortune here, the center of trade in this desert, this waste of salt and sand. The citrine desert bends to me, Prince Tebedra, and no other. And that considerable fortune is worthless if not shared, is it not?
I don't know about shared, but it is worthless if not used correctly.
I understand that you and your team plan to go after the Concord, yes? Take out their members one by one, divide their forces, maybe even take up the fight to the Lady in White herself.
It seems like that's the kind of path we're going along.
Do you intend to stay with this group of imbeciles the entire way?
Bro! The fucking
Not
dog.
Lucy in the background. Who the fuck you calling an imbecile?
Yeah, we'll be saying who's an imbecile when you're choking on your own ass, fucker.
Yeah.
I don't plan on staying with them permanently, no.
That's a shame, because I have a very valuable package that needs to be delivered to the Gyogran territories, and I imagine your large unseen friend would be quite remiss if you did not pay a visit to his homeland.
Well, what he feels is none of my concern, but for now though, we are working together for colliding goals.
In that case, let me lend a machete to your intellectual thicket. Make this delivery for me. Anonymously. Let nobody know, including your traveling companions, that you're doing this for me, and I can reward you as handsomely as a prince of thieves deserves. The wealth in your family's stolen land pales in comparison to the lifetime of gold I've built up here in the desert. I can give you gold, weapons, magic, anything you wish. All I ask in exchange, and one of the elvish maidens reaches down her shirt and pulls out a small leather satchel about the size of a coin purse, is that you deliver this in secret to Dr. Ampere Kaloum.
Oh. Motherfucker.
I can kind of already guess what it is. You know, it's probably her blood. So you're promising, what is it you're promising? A blank check or some sort?
Anything short of my position in nobility, but I'd be willing to make you a vassal, if that is what you wish. I have great gifts I can give you, little Saurian. You need simply accept the offer. This job should be easy for a thief of your talents, no? Simply keep it in your pockets, away from prying eyes. And when you come to the doctor to kill him, whether you succeed or not is not my concern. Simply deliver it to him and inform him that it was me who sent you. I will not stake my life or that of my people on the flights of fancy of the teenage princesses leading the Western Alliance. They believe that through friendship and camaraderie we can stand against the Concord, when I have now seen firsthand what they're capable of with a mere thought, flick of a wrist. None of their operatives were here, and yet my city nearly fell to their machinations. And the Alliance believes that an alliance of 4 nations, 5 if we count your own, can stand against them all, head on. A fool's errand, and one I do not intend to die for. Do we have a deal, Prince Tebedra?
Well, before I give my answer, I will point out, while there was a bit of Concord's work of our blood, but it was more of, well, the elves' stupidity. But as far as your deal,
I was not even present.
I said elves. Anyway, it's
I get this feeling that Zephyr really does not like elves.
He just doesn't.
Yeah,
two-
it's like
two
one of the paladins
exam-
at my Friday party who really hates gnomes.
I was like,
Really, don't worry. He's just a little racist, guys. It's okay.
I was
Yeah,
like,
it's fine. Lucian is too.
the 2 examples we have are, you know,
Shining examples of human of people.
Yeah, of elvish decency.
Yeah.
you know, but as for your offer, I will accept it.
He snaps his fingers,
Motherfucker.
and the elvish maiden tosses you the coin purse, which you catch. It's incredibly light, only one object within. Let nobody know what you're doing. If you are captured, I will do nothing to save you. But if you return alive, anything you ask for will be yours.
He'll kind of look at the bag, and then he'll pocket it, and look to him.
Bro, so sus.
And
Just adds to the list of reasons why.
So fucking sus.
and he'll just simply give a nod.
I'm glad we could come to a businessman's negotiation, Zephyr Tebedra.
All right, Zephyr's gonna proceed to walk out.
Is he
And
gonna
the guards
take the
just-
item?
Huh?
And the guards just step aside and let you leave. You're a respected ally to Lord Ephemeral, after all.
Alright, so my computer was messing up for a good majority of that, so what did he give Austin?
Lord Ephemeral just gave Zephyr the vial of Lucian's blood and
okay.
told him that if he delivers it to Dr. Kaloum and says that Lord Ephemeral gave this to you, that he will basically Zephyr a blank check because he doesn't think the Alliance stands a chance against the Concord and is trying to hedge his bets.
Alright, cool, groovy. Just making sure.
As I wasn't confirmed, but I figured it was a blood sample.
I mean, everyone knew.
Everyone
Yeah.
knew.
Look, if you go through with this,
Yeah.
Gil will not just kill the governor, but he will go after Zephyr. And he
Yeah.
will show no mercy.
I mean, you'd have to catch
Yeah, I'm
Zephyr.
gonna say, yeah, no, like, him and I have already been colluding on how to fucking.
Take care of Zephyr.
Well,
No, you'll
we didn't talk about Zephyr yet.
Yeah, Lord Ephemeral, I think.
Oh.
Hey, like, the guy's doing nothing to actually monitor Zephyr. He's basically just assuming that Zephyr is as greedy and selfish as he is, and will do anything for profit. Zephyr's done things without a profit motive plenty of times, just nobody appreciates it.
Delivered a vial of blood to the one who hates Gil and his entire family the most, and has killed him already.
Yeah,
There's story stuff, yeah.
Oh boy.
Tuco, Caro, Caleb, and What's-His. The four of you make your way out onto the busy streets, unaware of the collusion and politics happening behind you, and start taking up your positions. What's-His diving in with weapons drawn to do some improvised spear fishing. Tuco setting up a sort of little improvised laboratory on the shoreline where everyone can still talk to you. And Caro, what are you doing?
Caro is readying herself for fishing time.
Yeah, Caleb is going.
You gonna use an actual fishing rod, or just dive in and do it the hard
she's
way?
gonna dive in.
Okay, yeah. Go fishing. Nobody fishes. Caleb,
Hang on. Let me roll history
Hanging on.
to see if Caleb knows anything about crayfish. God, should we actually call them that?
And besides, it's called spear fishing, Matthew. It's a form of fishing.
I know it's a form of fishing. It's just like it's not typically what you think of when you think fishing.
Let me get my calculator out.
Are you
because
using a spear?
Yeah, he's using a javelin.
Well, I don't
I
think.
got a 14 on history about those little mud bugs.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Wait, see, what do I have here?
Oh no, Tibadrian's 8 those.
You guys had one fucking job.
Well, to be fair, I mean, it's just come back to them.
Yeah. Give him time. All right, so Caleb, I'll give you an answer for your history check in a second. Caro, you're going to be just diving in.
Lucian asks us to look for, right?
Yeah, crayfish and just fish.
Yeah, crawfish and fish.
All right, and all right. So What's-His diving in? Caro diving in. Tuco on the shore. Caleb, what are you doing?
He's gonna go in the water. That's where he was gonna roll to see if he would have any idea of where they'd likely hang out
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
in the water.
Caleb, while Tibadra doesn't do a lot of fishing, you at least have like a passing familiarity with lake dwelling creatures. As you know, there are lakes near Tibadra, and they're near enough to the shore, so you at least have a passing familiarity with them. More from them being on your dinner plate than on you actually catching them. But again, you know the basics. You know that the equivalent of a crayfish in this world is the golden clip. A massive crustacean, typically living at the bottom of lakes, that basically will typically, much like a dragon, kind of collect a little hoard for itself for nesting purposes. So you don't imagine one would be here coexisting with a dragon, but it's certainly possible. But if you want to find it, you're going to have to go to the deepest, darkest parts and just start looking for treasures that the
How
creature's
many,
been
like,
collecting.
They don't have any like smaller cousins.
Yeah, like I was thinking like shrimp and like literally crawfish.
Well, bear in mind they have babies, which then are like tiny regular crawfish. It's just that for there to be a stable population, an adult has to be somewhere. And in terms of fish, in terms of fish, you would know that the Abyssal Rainbow Gar typically lives in lakes.
Could
Where would
look
the
for
little
crab.
cliffs be?
The little ones typically either gravitate towards the shore, but they will also just hang out near the adult because the adult protects them. So basically, you're gonna.
He can
Yeah.
root around the shoreline.
Yeah, if you don't want a chance going deep.
Well, I don't think Lucian said she needed the big one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just confirming what you want to do. All right. Okay.
Are there any like? I think there's some freshwater shrimp.
There are.
Are there? Does Caleb know anything about that?
Not off the top of your head. Again, you're not exactly a fisherman, but again, you know the basics. You can start looking.
So just root around the like, mud close to the shore.
Okay. Can I just say, by the way, I love the term rooting around. It's just so fun.
I'll just try to catch any like shellfish he sees, like any crabs or shrimp. I guess that's what Lucian was going for, is shellfish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess he'll just, root around in the mud near the shore, look for any shellfish.
Okay. So Caleb rooting around on the shore, What's-His and Caro diving in to fish, and Tuco working on some...
Probably like goes into the water a little bit.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I'm just establishing where everyone is in relation to each other. That's all.
Yeah.
And Tuco on the shore creating formulae. All right, Caro and What's-His both roll me survival checks. Don't call out your roll immediately. Just keep it at the ready. Caleb do this. Yeah, Caleb do the same. And What's-His, while they're rolling, before I ask for their results, what are you doing?
So I am hunting for.
I said Tuco.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said What's-His.
So yeah, Tuco, what are you doing?
Oh my god, yeah. Tuco would probably be just, like looking at his stuff, being a little science man, being a little magic man, whipping up an amazing cure.
Have a little drink, my dark-eyed beauty. I got one more night left here in town. All right, roll me a medicine check. However, because I believe you have your chemistry set on hand. So I will let you get a little extra to this. Because you're using your custom tools that you know very well, roll a d20, and this is medicine, so you have a +4, and I will give you an additional +4 for using the alchemical tool, so +8 to whatever you roll.
All right. 14 plus
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
All right.
Okay. What's his survival?
Dirty 20.
Caro survival? We'll come back to you. Caleb's roll?
14.
Okay. And what was it you were going to say you were doing earlier?
That I'm hunting for the fish, but I'm also occasionally popping my head up to ask Tuco if they need any supplies and fine.
No, yeah. Tuco to that question, he would be like, yeah, so, as he'd lean down and kind of like, it's noted that at this point he's trying to make sure that he keeps you under close watch because you are the one that seems to cause a lot of problems.
Seems.
So he would definitely be the one to be like, all right, so you see this here? As he kind of shakes the little babies up and down. I need a lot more of these. And a bit more of this. As he throws a rock in the air, catches it, and then, presents it to you. Both of these, they're going to be instrumental in finding the cure for, well, this whole plague thing.
Gotcha. And he will try to find what they're asking for.
Okay.
I note that, because Caleb knows that Tuco needs the rocks, so he'll also gather some more of the rocks if he can.
Yeah, sure. And Caro, are you back? All right, we'll circle back to them at the end of the scene, and if they're not back, then we'll keep going. Tuco, you sit on the shore, just kind of crisscross applesauce, using the rocks to kind of mulch up Griffon Flay nymphs and depositing them into vials, and which you begin to cook and boil. As from the recipes, you know, the larvae and Griffon Flays have to be cooked for the medicinal properties to really set. So what you're essentially creating is like this awful mixture of salt water and dragonflies, but you're confident that it should have the desired medicinal effect. And you just basically start making like vial after vial of this stuff, like crushing up nymphs with the salt rocks, giving it enough water to blend, and then boiling it and moving it on to the next, and just keeping this process up as the sun moves through the sky. Meanwhile, you and Caro dive fully into Scarlet Lake, and you basically just using your blades and weapons just catch Abyssal Rainbow Gar as you see them. Although whenever Tuco passes on that they need Griffon Flay nymphs and iron rocks, you start diving a bit deeper to get those as well. And Caleb, as you kind of trudge along the shoreline, occasionally diving in deeper to grab a few rocks and pass them along to Tuco when needed, you kind of scout along the mud shoals for any golden clip nymphs. And
any kind of shellfish.
I'm aware.
Balls busted.
Yeah.
And say it, so I didn't know if he was like counting that.
And looking along the shore, you do see a few small ore clams and things of that nature. However, since Lucian had specifically said crayfish, you do see, after a bit of searching, a few of the nymphs indeed kind of just hanging out near the shallow water, which means an adult probably is deeper in the lake. Although, again, it surprises you that a dragon, which also hoards valuables, can coexist with another creature that shares its habits. But regardless of how that coexistence got established, you're happy that you found them. And the nymphs themselves are a more manageable size, so you just start gathering, basically acting as a sort of improvised shrimp harvester as you start gathering up the things Lucian requested.
Does he get any pinches?
They do definitely pinch you frequently. They are not happy about being dragged out of the water. But the pinches hurt, but aren't enough to you've been stabbed. Like, the pinches are like old hat for you at this point. But your fingers do take a pretty nasty pinching. And by the time it gets to like late afternoon and you guys are about to call it for the day, your fingers are like bleeding, not like crazy heavily, but like enough to be noticeable.
Are his hands sore from the pinching?
At this point, it's gone from sore to just kind of numb.
I just imagine the little crab pinch noise.
Can I say that, like, maybe he tries to, grab them, like, from their bodies?
I mean, yeah, of course. All right. Tuco, I'm assuming Caro's not back yet? Okay, no. Tuco, you spend the better part of the day just, again, mixing together this requested medicine, crushing up Griffon Flays and salt rocks, any other medicinal herbs and organs you're carrying on your person added to the mixture, cooking it all together to trigger the Griffon Flays medicinal organs. And after the sun's beginning to set, Caleb's fingers are quite sore and need a break. Is just retrieving endless supplies of rocks and fish. Caro, it sounds like you're back. What are you doing? I know you said you were fishing. What was your survival check?
It was 16.
Okay. And Caro, you are quite comfortably able to harvest quite a few Abyssal Rainbow Gar that are native to the Scarlet Lake, and get them together. And by the time that the sun is beginning to set, Tuco, you've made quite a few doses of this medicine, although it took the better part of a day and all of your friends giving you ingredients to work with. Caleb and Caro, you're all soaking wet. Caleb's fingers are sore and numb and bleeding from harvesting golden clip crayfish. But as the four of you gather, what's that?
Are they golden color?
Yes, they are a this kind of like golden, or rather, it's more that their antennae and claws are gold. But yes, they have golden color to them. And finally, as the four of you regroup, Tuco, between the fish guts for protein, the golden clip crayfish for, again, protein and iron, the Griffon Flay nymphs for medicinal, you managed to create a bit of a homemade, you just kind of mix together things that are medicinal, but you've done this before, and you are confident that you have created a treatment for Adamic fever.
All right. Yeah, no, there'd be a moment as he finally kind of grabs the vial and lifts it in the air with a triumphant little little nose little wiggle. Ha ha! Eureka! Ha ha! All right. That only took, as he stares at his watch, only about 10 hours. That's better than my usual.
Caleb was just like, what did Lucian need these little things for, holding one of the clips?
Yeah, food for the sick. Or at least that'd be my guess.
Go.
There's no telling, but wherever she is, Sun Dragon cannot be far.
Could we maybe bring these things they asked for to their... Where are they working from?
Lucy.
Not sure.
I like no one remembers.
He didn't tell us.
No, he did.
Oh, what? I am here.
When did they tell us where they went?
I mean, the Lord said that they had a lavatory.
Yeah, it was mentioned, yeah, you can use the lavatory below the bathhouse.
Thing I didn't remember. I guess I'm gonna make Caleb have to roll history.
Go for it.
Natural 1.
Yeah, you have no fucking idea where this lab is.
Like, it was just he was talking.
Does what's his remember at least? Or Tuco?
Yeah, it sounds like Tuco remembers. So
no, I was about to say Tuco at Caleb conjecturing and realizing he doesn't know where. Tuco's like, don't worry about it. I know exactly where it is. Can't hide a laboratory from me. Speaking of which, the sun's getting low, so we better regroup with the other Sheila. Two Sheilas.
Roughly what time?
I'd say at this point, you guys woke up early, did a little bit of harvesting. It's about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. The sun is setting and it's getting dark.
Okay, so he's about to become visible again.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. The four of you, Carol, you're good to head to the bathhouse, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so the four of you start making your way to the bathhouse. Lucian, what have you been up to for the last 10 hours?
I actually wanted to have a conversation with Sun Dragon while she worked on some cures and try to figure some stuff out for herself.
All right. Make me a medicine check.
I am now proficient in alchemy tools, so... Ooh,
awesome. All right.
Okay.
Interesting.
23.
Okay. Lucian, you begin to set to work using what resources are available to you. The laboratory is this structure beneath the bathhouse. You can see that it originally was intended to be the forges that actually physically heat up the water for the hot tubs. But since the outbreak, it's been kind of repurposed as also just a place to do like on-the-sly studies. So where there are like forges and fires down here, they're in the center are like rolled out mats of tools and chemicals that you can use for your studies. And Agnes, not really.
Are we relatively alone?
There are other guys down here putting coal in the fires to keep them lit.
Okay, not for what you might think, but Lucian, as she works, can I ask you a personal question?
Go for it. Beats watching sweaty guys stuff coal into furnaces all night.
Ugh, don't get me started. The other day, when we were with Lord Femoral, you seemed to kind of get very, what's the word? Frozen? Did I say something wrong?
I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, I'll admit he can be a bit of an intimidating guy, but I can take him. It's not a big deal.
What I mean is when I told you I was doing this for you.
Ah. Well, yeah, not exactly something I'm used to, you know?
Get that. I mean, the only person who's doing anything for me is my brother, and who knows what he's up to.
Well, you'll figure it out sooner or later, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. And I'm afraid the more time I give him, the more terrible it's going to be.
She kind of runs a hand through her hair, which is starting to like frizz up in the heat, and I'll tell you the same thing now that I told you last night. Not much you can do about it, but try to meet it on your own terms, you know?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Huh. I'll run into town and try to get you something. But in case I forget, I'm pretty bad with birthdays. Happy birthday, Lulu.
It's weird. I've spent my birthday so much with my brother, and it just kind of hit me that this will be the first time in a long time where we didn't spend our birthday together. I mean, we did have that 5-year gap where I was literally dead, but I mean,
that doesn't count.
Been together for our birthday. No. I don't remember it, so no.
She kind of gives a nod, and, well, at least from the sounds of it, you got better people to spend it with this time around.
Maybe you can buy me a drink.
I'll think about it. She gives you a smirk, and... Anything else, Lucian?
No, I'm just gonna, continue working, and if she wants to go, she can go. I just wanted to talk to her for a little bit.
All right. The hours tick by relatively uneventfully. Sundragon people work around the clock to maintain the furnaces of the bathhouse. Periodically, you'll see this kind of like contraption of like wooden planks, almost like wind chimes made out of wood, kind of clack around sporadically, and that seems to be a sort of signal for people to start filling them up and getting the heat turned up. You're basically seeing the inner machinations of like this sort of Spirited Away style boiler room. Sundragon, for her part, seems a little bored, but eventually, more to give herself something to do than anything, takes her jacket off and has some of the workers kind of walk her through how the furnace works. And she actually, while she doesn't have a mind for chemicals, she does seem to have a decent mind for fire and tinkering. And again, more to just give herself something to do, she just starts helping them move it along.
Ooh,
Get that efficiency up.
This is distracting. I need to see if this is distracting for me.
I just like to imagine little sprites dancing around.
I rolled a 5.
I think you said 5. I think I heard 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuco, Caleb. I will say real quick before we get to you guys, Zephyr, where are you planning to go after your negotiations are completed?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, it was
Gonna
sort of.
do, Zephyr.
I don't know. I already had planned this. I'm a man with a plan, but he wanted to talk.
Lizard man with a plan.
Yeah. He wanted to talk to Sundragon. Kind of has. Well, it's better, but he still has a headache from the elves.
All right, so you want to just try and chat her up, like just next time you see her, basically?
Yeah, but he's gonna like clear his head a bit and go to the end, kind of clear his head. Like,
Okay. All right, we'll circle back to you later then. Zephyr, after your negotiations complete, you just make your way to the inn and just spend the afternoon there, just like clearing your head, relaxing a bit, and I imagine, from what I understand of your character, feeling a little more at ease, having some degree of control over the situation, not really liking the party's tendency to like jerk you into one stressful situation after another. Tuco, Kero, Caleb, What's-His. The four of you, as the sun is beginning to set, the sky is turning red, and then finally a dark midnight blue. And the air is beginning to get colder as the nightly chill sets on the deserts surrounding Sundragon. The four of you make your way back to the bathhouse with a lot of medicine in tow and smelling of seafood.
Lots of medicine and lots of crayfish.
Tuco, I imagine, just giving it a little.
I'm going to note that whenever he walks into the laboratory, Caleb's going to dump the crayfish just right in front of Lucy.
All right.
Oh, and
The door.
pungent smell. Hey, and I need to do a wisdom saving throw.
What? Maybe
It's not
leave it
good.
back.
It's not good.
The little slidey port is opened, and the squire sees all of you and just immediately shuts it and pulls the door open. And were you successful?
Where's I successful? Tuco kind of gives him a look like, ugh, of course I was. Honestly.
It's my job to ask questions. I meant no offense.
Caleb was going to be like, I found a lot of clips.
The
Indeed
golden,
you did.
the golden clips of the Scarlet Lake. People come from far and wide to hunt them.
Yeah, I might make this place familiar stomping grounds of my own. They seem quite useful.
The Lord would greatly appreciate your business, Dr. Slitherite.
So I do have one question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yes?
Our friend Lucian mentioned that she gave you all a vial of her blood to experiment with.
That she did.
How's that going?
Our experimentation is going well. We hope to make new discoveries very soon.
Oh,
Rest-
if you do, let us know.
Of
Always
course.
excited to find something new.
It is a matter of national security. We would be remiss to deny our saviors that sort of information.
Can I insight him?
Sure.
How does he know that he would
Yeah,
have
I was
He doesn't, but
Yeah,
It was
it's
actually,
something I've come to expect, so.
yeah, a lot of the
it was
outside
actually something
information.
I was gonna have to go ask is, Speaking of which, I was actually hoping we could get it back.
He kind of raises an eyebrow. All right, noted. He kind of raises an eyebrow and... If you need more of it, could you not simply get it from the source?
Sure we could, but every time we prick her, there's a very high risk of, you know, everyone else getting impacted until the blood stops flowing. And besides, it's already been drawn. And honestly, if there's anybody who's going to be able to look at this thing and figure out what the feck is going on, don't you think it's going to be a doctor? Especially want to just come up with a crack job cure for y'all's problem.
Well, we cannot, in good conscience, part with our only viable specimen of this disease. But if you could convince Miss Alefakir or one of your allies to part with their blood, we would consider a trade.
I would look to Tuco and be like, I can provide you with something.
Oh yeah? What you got?
Well, I mean, I can provide you with a sample.
Ah. He kind of pauses for a moment before he looks back to the person. So you're absolutely certain that you've got that thing under lock and key? Because you do know it's going to happen if it gets out, right?
I've seen it firsthand, Dr. Slitherite. I have no intention of letting our people be hurt by this virus. We've had quite enough of being ill, thank you very much.
See, that's the thing about intentions, fella. Is that you're holding on to a nuclear bomb, you know that, right? And
well, of course, your team has demonstrated a perfect record in keeping it contained.
Yes. And apparently they're the experts. Are you?
I think that might actually be... Never mind.
Fair point. Yeah.
He raises a hand and... Our research facilities are underground. Only Lord Ephemeral's most trusted are allowed to see it.
I'd like to see it then.
He
Why
gives
are
you...
they so suspicious? They don't know that Zephyr was given a vial.
No, you're gonna see why in a second.
He gives you a smile and become one of his most trusted, and he may grant you permission.
He kind of, again, tilts the vial. The vial of the actual cures he just made.
It was just gonna be like, how about you stop worrying about something that we can literally get 50... I could literally get you, like...
Caleb, sweetheart, honey. Have you any experience in medicine? Have you any experience in pathogens? Have you any experience at all in this sort of thing?
Doesn't his sister make poisons on the regular?
Yeah, she's a chemist.
Yes.
I didn't ask about your sister. I'm asking you.
Well, Caleb spent a lot... I've spent a lot of time with her watching her work.
So, are you telling me that you were perfectly content to have to watch as she had different poisons scattered about?
Oh yeah, I even used some of them.
Oh, good God, you're a feckin' moron. I'm done with this one. Fine.
Come, the Lord is expecting you. And the four of you are escorted into the bathhouse, and Lord Ephemeral, kind of leaning back in his hot tub, seeming a good deal more relaxed than he has been recently. And as the four of you enter, he kind of glances as again, the steam kind of betrays your location a bit, as he glances back to those he can see, just to have something to look at, basically. Welcome back. I imagine you are successful.
And you imagine correctly.
Very well. And he holds his hand out with the long nails towards you. And may I be the first to sample our salvation?
Oh, how noble of you. As he kind of just gives a smile and just up and down tosses the cure before presenting it to him. Keep in mind, though, since I'm not infected myself and I really haven't any time for any side effects to potentially kick in, I cannot speak for the side effects, but you should be cured. Though I would expect things like drowsiness. Oh, and it tastes like fucking piss.
He takes the bottle and kind of looking it over. About what I would have expected. You said it yourself. You are not a miracle worker. The day a doctor engineers a medicine that tastes pleasant, well, we will know we're truly in the fourth age then, won't we?
God, I can't imagine what the fourth age will be like.
Well, we have time. And with that, he uncorks the vial and downs the cure.
Probably very fishy.
No, yeah, it's fishy and it's incredibly bitter. Although, Tuco, you notice that, well, other than a slight kind of furrow of the brow and a tightening of the lips, he actually manages to swallow it with a relatively straight face. And clasping his hands together, he gives you a nod. You have my thanks, Dr. Slitherite. You have kept your word, and I shall keep mine. And he gestures to the people in the bathhouse and distribute what you have created among them. I will send an attendant to inform Dr. Lefakir that the work is satisfactory. And at this point, the squire steps forward and, Lord Ephemeral, sir, they wish to have the sample of Miss Lefakir's pathogen returned to them. Oh, do you now? Is there a reason for this concern?
Well, as I was out there on the beach, I was thinking about it, and I actually have not tried my hand at curing this whole thing yet. In fact, I've never even had a chance to look at it. Back under the surface, we don't really have to deal with all the problems that y'all are dealing with up here.
I suppose that is true.
Well,
Understand.
having something like that with people that we don't know. You saw what happened. It's very, what's the word? Finicky. Under the best of situations.
A fair point. You, boy, Prince Tebedra.
Yes?
I see that the golden cliffs of Scarlet Lake were not kind to you in the harvest, were they?
Well, I've had worse.
The fishermen of this city say that after a time, their fingers tend to simply go numb to the pinches. They learn to ignore it.
Yeah, I experienced that myself.
Good. And he snaps his fingers, and a muscular guard shoves a vial into your hands. And I will not part with the one sample we have of this illness and our only chance to devise a cure ourselves. I have confidence in you, Dr. Slitherite, but I also have confidence in my men, so I suggest we split the difference. Prince Tebedra, would you be so kind as to provide us a sample to replace Miss Alefakir's?
Out of curiosity, did the blood from the pinches, did it come out red or ink?
It came out red because only if an ichor thing attacks you do you bleed black.
It doesn't work like that. It has to be from someone either someone else who's afflicted or from the self.
Well, that's very convenient because, as I understand it, there are 3 additional infected in this very room.
And yourself.
Oh, goodness. I can do this on my own time if that's all you're gonna do.
Yeah, I don't see much reason for trading. We might as well just collect it ourselves.
I just figured that, what with you already suffering from one plague, why on earth you'd want to keep the one most toxic and vile example of a pathogen in your castle?
It's time to study it.
Indeed, as last night proved, the contagion will come to my people whether I wish it or not. I would rather have a chance to devise a defense against it before it next strikes.
Well, can't argue with that.
He raises a hand, and if you change your mind, the vial is yours to keep. Dr. Lefakir and Queen Sundragon are down below. You may join them downstairs.
Good, I need to give them all these clips they wanted.
He kind of smirks, and as you pass him by, he kind of looks to one of the elvish maidens and just like, doctors are strange at times. And that you can hear them both giggle as they return to just lounging on him.
You go and eye those two girls.
One of them, the one on his right, kind of smiles and gives you a little dainty wave as you pass by.
Tuco's tail twitches before he tries to just like, it's one of those things of him just sort of like smoothing his head, but he's a little rat man, so it looks a lot less suave than he intends for it to come off as, before he's just like, all right, into the basement.
And the last thing you see before kind of like her focusing and hurrying yourself along is she blows you a kiss.
Tail just like forms. It's like in the cartoons where his tail just turns into a heart.
Yeah, basically. And Lucian, it's about at this point that Sundragon's been kind of at work at the forges for a few hours, and you've just been so focused on your research that you haven't really thought too much about it. And Caleb, Caro, What's-His, and I did that in a weird order. The four of you. I couldn't remember who was the person I hadn't said yet because I went out of my usual order. Because now I'm all self-conscious about it because of you guys calling me on it earlier.
Doesn't actually matter.
As the four of you come down, you see Lucian. It has like looked up from a small mat on the floor where she's doing some chemistry of her own. And Lucian, it's at this point that you notice Sundragon in nothing but her undershirt, shoveling coal and obviously sweating profusely. And all the four of you, as you come down the stairs into the lab, watch as Lucian gets so distracted that she overfills the vial she's working with, and it starts just spilling over onto her hands. It doesn't appear harmful, thankfully, but Lucian herself does not appear to notice at all.
Like I said, Caleb walks in and just dumps the clips right on her desk.
Lucian, your intriguing thoughts about the queen are interrupted by the intense smell of seafood.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled an 11 on that wisdom save, so I'm sure it makes me very sorry.
Lucian feeling almost nauseous as in this enclosed, hot, sweaty space. It'd be like if you were in a sauna and then someone just dumped a pile of fish in the center. It's awful. But I will say, Lucian...
I got those clips you wanted.
Did you have to drop them in my lap? Kind of swish my hand. Caleb... I'm too tired for this shit. How successful was I with my own chemistry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lucian, since you did not have the specific fever curing tools that Tuco had, you have not devised a medical treatment. However, you have devised something that will assist in the recovery. You knew, as I mentioned offhandedly with the with what you already knew of the fever going in, and you had noticed this whenever you first entered the bathhouse as well, bitters tend to actually be fairly effective at treating the fever. It, again, kind of leaves it up to a coin toss whether you'll survive it, but it at least relieves the symptoms until it either kills you or you become immune. So... You were not able to devise a cure, however, you were able to devise a aromatic bitter that will alleviate their symptoms until, as far as you're concerned, they will either die or not die. However, with Tuco's medicine, it will just relieve their discomfort and pain until the cure processes the disease out of their system.
All right, cool beans. I will hand it to Tuco. Did you come out as lucky?
Very lucky, actually. I've made something I feel will verifiably cure whatever the fuck is infecting all these people.
That's good, because this should help with any other symptoms, and with the cure, they should be good in just a few days. Her
Yeah.
eyes are still clearly on Sundragon, but she's still like talking.
Yeah, just not taking your eyes off her, but just still talking to the others.
Tuco kind of gives her a side eye as he kind of like does like a hand wave between the two of them before. I'm glad that you worked under duress, sweetheart.
Sundragon at this point
She kind of shakes her head. What?
Agnes kind of wipes some sweat from her brow and crunches the shovel into the coal and turns back and kind of looks a little surprised at the four of you being here. Is welcome back, guys. Tuco, managed to engineer something?
You know I did.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know, he kind of shows it off a little bit. Tastes like ass and will make you feel a bit better, though.
Perfect. Well, from the sounds of it, we'll be out of here in just a day or two. Lord Ephemeral was thankfully unspecific that we had to wait until the cure kicked in. But, for the record, you do actually think it works, right?
Of course I do.
Yes.
And there's a moment of pause as he leans in. And I also know that the side effect I mentioned works, too. I don't trust him. Not from the second I arrived. I'm usually hired to kill people like him, you know?
Really?
Not the feeling.
Yeah, something's just off.
I'm glad we can all come to an agreement on that.
Question, when we came down here, was there a door?
There was essentially a double door that opened out into this staircase, but then this staircase just leads down into this lab. But the lab itself is actually kind of an open thing because the heat of the forges needs to go somewhere. You guys are essentially in this little improvised alcove beneath the docks of Chillblades. So, like, if you look out, you can just see the lake behind you.
At this point, I would like to go check those double doors. Just to see what's in it.
Before you go, I wanted to. Well, Zephyr's not here, so I guess not everyone is going to be invited. I guess we can invite him next time we see him. But tomorrow is kind of my birthday, and I was thinking maybe we could, like, since we're stuck here anyway, maybe we could have a party.
A party?
Sure.
A party? Is this like, as he leans in closer, an actual party or like he mimes a slicing motion? Party.
Lucian looks as if she is not 100% sure what you're trying to imply. She's just like, like cake and singing and drinks and activities. Party.
I'm gonna take you at face value for this one.
Yeah. Honestly, party sounds fun. I think the men will enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll nudge Tuco a little bit. and
They
say,
can all buy me drinks.
What were you gonna say, Gil?
yeah, I'll say activities. With a very-
Pin the tail on the donkey, or drinking games.
Drinking games I can get behind.
Yep, I'm in.
Yeah, no, as he pauses, I can make a strong brew.
But I can make one stronger.
Really?
Oh, yeah? You're on, big man, you're on.
What they don't
It's gonna
realize.
be a great birthday.
Are you about to use that thing?
I might.
You like make it. You already just exist.
And if anybody wants to get candles for the cake, it's I'm 176 now.
Holy shit, you're gonna burn down the place with that kind of cake?
I was saying there won't be any cake left.
I mean, if there's a fire, the bathhouse is right here.
Candles and cake.
You could just like spell the number with the candles. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, I know you could do that, but that's a lot less of a funny allegory, is it?
You've got the point.
Well, I'm done sweating down here. You done messing with your chemicals and powders, Lulu?
Yeah, I think between Tuco and I, we've got a good game plan.
All right, let's head up top and tell the big guy the good news. See you around, guys. And these people who, bear in mind, she had just met a few hours ago, are all just kind of wave to her, super smiling and friendly.
I mean, yeah, to the view
You never meet a stranger, do you, Aggie?
What can I say? It's my noble charm. And she puts a very noticeable kind of sarcastic edge to that. And she looks to the rest of you and Caro, Caleb, and she gives you a thumbs up. Good job, guys. Appreciate the help.
Not a
Yeah,
problem.
all of the fish and the crawfish I will give to the tour guide and just be like, make sure that this all gets cooked for everyone who is ill. It will help with the iron deficiency and the liver deficiency as well.
The squire gives you a nod as at this point you guys are heading up. And you said you wanted to investigate those sets of double doors?
Yeah, just make sure that we didn't get locked down here with some crap.
Yeah. Going up ahead of the group as everyone's packing up their things and getting ready to leave. Sundragon putting her jacket back on and such. You give a kind of rough push, and the doors fly open without issue.
Yeah, good.
At this point, the rest of you start filing upstairs and back into the main bathhouse, where Lucian, as you're pawning off your prawns, doing some prawn pawning, to the squire. He gives you a nod and passes it along to another person to basically do the job for him, as he is too important to do that himself. He nods to you, and Lord Ephemeral raises a hand and sits up in the bath as you all return from the furnaces.
Give him the fish as well.
I assume so, yes, Lucian?
Yeah.
Okay. He sits up and... Dr. Lefakir, was your research successful?
I do believe it was. Between Tuca and myself, I can strongly believe that everyone will be healthy in no time.
You both have my sincerest thanks, as do all of your traveling companions. Extend my best wishes to your brother, young Prince Debadra, as he does not strike me as the sort to deal lightly with nobility, and I shall not suffer it upon him if it is not truly necessary. You are all free to leave Chilblains with my gratitude, as well as my men who will be joining your militia in the morning.
Right.
Well, we will be here one more day.
You are always welcome. As I promised, Chilblains will always be open to you in exchange for your aid. I and my people would be likely no longer of this world if you had not arrived in such a timely manner. My thanks, Dr. Sitherite, Dr. Alefakir, and to your traveling companions.
I give a bow.
If there is any further favor I can reasonably do for any of you, do not hesitate to ask me. I owe you my life. And he gives a bow, as do the elfish maidens. And Tuco, you see the one who had been kind of giving you the eyes, winks at you as she's rising from the bow.
Oh yeah, no, Tuco, absolutely. If they're gonna be participating in the party, he wants to run a line by her of just like, with me, honey.
Lucian will extend the party invitation to Lord Ephemeral. Just tomorrow is my birthday, and we're planning a pretty big party. If you and your she kind of pauses, looking at the elvish women. Friend want to come?
He smirks and, I do not pay them well enough to be my friends. And they both giggle.
Come on.
You see Lucian just turn like 3 shades of red.
Did I not friends, Lucian. They're something else.
Quite
Well,
I
they're,
get
they're-
that.
they're the friends. They're the friends that stay with you till your money runs dry. I have quite the experience in them.
The friends where you feel quite the fool if you're making breakfast for them the next morning. Girls, would you wish to attend? And they both give, like, immediate nods and smiles, and... Very well. I shall attend your ceremony with enthusiasm, Dr. Lefakir. It has been quite some time since my public has seen me, and it would ease their minds to see that I am in good health.
Plus,
Uh,
there's alcohol.
yeah.
I have not had some...
having plenty of drinking game.
I haven't had anything stronger than water in quite some time. Well, you've twisted my hands. I shall attend. The party is tomorrow, yes?
It would,
You know it.
Very well. My militiamen will join yours for the festivities and be ready to march by nightfall.
yeah, that would be perfect. We'll have the party in the afternoon, then we'll leave.
Very well.
That's-
Oh man, nothing
Good.
quite like nothing says party quite like drinking at 5 a.m.
Well, like the old Adama saying goes, it is always 5 o'clock somewhere.
That same
Yeah.
applies
I'm-
industrial work schedule.
I don't know, but you guys
You're very quiet.
are
Oh,
drinking now.
No, yeah, I'm going back to what I was saying earlier. He definitely wanted to run a line by her of like, with me, baby, you'll never be sick again.
Yes, it wasn't anything really important, just a commenting.
He raises a hand and you're all dismissed. And he looks to the ladies who look back to him and, my friends, would you escort these honored guests to their hotel? Of course, Lord of Emerald. Yes, Lord of Emerald. And the twin girls stand up very immodestly. This is a bathhouse. And two of the guards quickly hand them bathrobes for them to tie around themselves as they hoist themselves out of the bath. Approaching your group, they both give you earnest smiles, and the one who had been sitting on his left gives all of you a smile and, right this way, sirs. But Tuco, the one on his right, approaches you and just holds out her arm in that sort of like, you know, if I'm going to be your girl, walk me kind of motion.
Which Tuco takes up with enough like of a sweeping gesture
With
that's full of-
aplomb.
Oh yeah, full of dramaticism, as he like, takes up her hand and wraps a tail just a little bit around her waist.
I was just going to say, I thought you were a rat, not a dog.
Ooh.
Get it?
Well,
Yeah.
you
You
see,
old dog.
Both of the girls giggle.
Tuco would just kind of give him a laugh and just, maybe so, but this dog's got game.
Right this way, sir. Follow us, sirs. And the two of them escort you guys back to your place of residence for the time being. And notably, as they do so, whenever they see the twin sisters, who also look very similar to them as well, you guys never noticed the resemblance because you never saw them together. The girl working the counter looks up and just gives a smile and... Never seen you work this many at once. Huh. They are guests of our Lord. Ensure they are given the luxury accommodations, please. Right away. And she looks to the other sister that's arm in arm with Tuco. And you. This one is... And she pauses, and the girl working the counter. Business or pleasure? Column A, column B? Luxury suite, then. And
I'm sticking with Agnes, of course.
Do I remember how much the rooms were again?
luxury or basic?
Luxury.
The luxury one was double checking, but I believe it was like 5 gold. I'm double checking to be sure. Yeah, 4 gold. I was close.
Okay, so let's see. 1, 2. I'm pretty much gonna buy a room for us all each.
I thought it was taken care of.
Yeah, but they're not going to turn down free money.
It's taken care of, but he wants to make sure that they do get paid. They have a business after all.
They seem a little surprised, but both at you being invisible, but at this point they know that already, and at you being so generous. But the elvish girl kind of cautiously takes the money and, as you wish, sir. And it's about at this point that you back into visibility as your candy finally finishes working through your digestive system, and the other elvish girl who Tuco is not in arms with immediately sidles up to you and places a hand on your side. And wow, military life has done you some favors, Colonel.
Tuco just kind of gives him a nod and a smile, like, back at it again.
Perhaps the rumors are indeed untrue. After all, I didn't know you were so... And she eyes the gold coins you had so frivolously tossed away. Generous. I expect such an honorable military man would be as generous in every aspect of his life. And she starts walking her fingers up your chest.
Caleb is just like, all right.
Extremely.
Y'all 3 pairs, just try not to keep everybody awake.
The twin girls look to you and taking turns speaking in what seems to be a little rehearsed routine. We make no promises.
No promises.
Oh, God, I love
Lucian
Quinn.
chimes in as well.
Let's see. So how many rooms was that total for each of us to get our own
Like,
rooms?
to the counter, is like,
5.
you wash those sheets.
Every day in the finest incense.
Don't, Caleb. Just let it be. Let it happen.
Alright.
You're not stopping it.
Very rare that I get a day to relax. Don't ruin this for me.
I'd be more than willing to help you relax a bit, honey.
Oh, honey. I like you.
As all of you head to your rooms, and Tuco, I will ask you this bluntly. Are you going to pay for a night with these girls?
Yeah.
Oh, Tuco probably will.
All right.
Just start playing Careless Whisper at this point.
And
I always go to that song, but it's actually about heartbreak.
no, yeah, like it's not a fitting song at all. I've actually heard stories of people who put it on like while they were, busy, and like noticed the lyrics too late, and like it actually like made things really awkward. Anyway,
It's the same vibe as like pumped up chicks.
all right, but yeah, that is 5 silver for those of you spending a night with these lovely women.
Wow, that's cheap.
Wow, really? That's the phrasing you're going to use?
I was thinking that.
He's paying more.
Oh boy.
You got to remember, for the record, that this is something that like people like reasonably have to be able to afford. These girls, like if they're charging gold, they're not going to get any customers.
But also remember who
Everybody
is.
forgets that adventures are a lot.
You guys are fucking wealthy.
Yeah, the
I am
adventurers
beyond
are the
wealthy.
1%.
All right.
I have over 26,000 gold. I am beyond wealthy.
Yeah, you're officially aristocratic.
1,600 platinum.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Tuco absolutely produces 7 silver.
All right.
Killed me for less.
And I will pass mine, let's say, I'll pass her 30 gold.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and tell me all the stories about how much you love my body.
Caleb, Caro, the two of you have an uneventful, comfortable night in a luxury suite. Tuco, you have a very good night. You have a fantastic night. She makes sure to show you her gratitude. And Lucian, you spend the night with Agnes once again, and Zephyr. At this point, night has fallen. Your headache has, again, after a day of just staying inside and relaxing, has mostly abated, I imagine. Is there anything you wish to do, or just go down for a long rest?
But his room is paid for as well.
What?
Oh, okay. Paid for him as well. All right.
I mean,
Fuck it, Matthew. Did Caleb still have any more of that honey?
Yes.
Lucian does. I'll see if Sundragon wants to partake with her.
They're just now part. Everyone else.
So God, like, yeah, you guys save the city from illness, so you just immediately spend the night getting just stoned and laid.
I mean,
Hey,
valid.
we're celebrating.
No, that's valid. It's just funny.
No, yeah.
So yeah, if you want to circle back to me, that'd be great.
Like, he might be romantic, but he is not above letting loose.
All right, but yeah, so real quick before we cut it to anyone else. So yeah, Zephyr, is there anything you'd like to do? The only thing noteworthy is that you do notice nobody comes in to either ask for rent or like, basically like you're left alone. So you imagine they've either forgotten you're here or knowing your party, was being frivolous with his gold again.
Now he's going to complain whenever he doesn't have any.
Oh yeah, I know.
And steal some.
26,000 gold. I don't think he's ever gonna fucking run out.
No,
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, he'll run out.
Like, how much are +3 items again, Matthew?
Let me here. I'll double check. In the meantime, Zephyr, go ahead and say anything you might want to do while I'm pulling up magic item prices.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I mean, even then, it's gonna just whittle down by him. Just like, oh, here's gold, here's money, here's free money. But yeah. Let me check my attunement, see if I want to.
What's his would need double what he currently has to afford a very rare item.
Yeah.
So +3 items would be like 50,000 gold.
Yeah, let me double check. I'll just say like a great sword. Let's say a +3 great sword. Yeah. So what are you doing, Zephyr? Just while I'm just doing some fun back of the napkin math here.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I have my attunement stuff, but.
Yeah. What's his straight up couldn't afford a +3 item. He'd need twice what he has right now. So yeah, no, you can blow through money pretty fast if you get cocky with magic items.
Or yeah, just cocky in general. Someone's gonna steal from him. He's gonna
also true. That is also true. He could just get straight up robbed.
Because like, he flaunts his money. He flaunts his money. Someone's gonna see that and be like, oh,
a mark.
Yeah.
I mean, like it basically happened here. Like.
Wouldn't that be karma, though? Like, with how much he's stolen?
Oh, yeah. Because when you think about it, like, the moment someone saw that he was, like, spending money recklessly, just like, hey, throw a few my way. Yeah, so nothing from you, Zeph?
He'll just kind of go over his items again, and but otherwise, no.
All right. Zephyr, content, pleasantly surprised and content at the lack of disturbance. You focus your attention inward, and just sitting comfortably in your room as your headache abates, you just go over your magic items once again. It's become sort of a calming ritual for you. And as Tuco and What's-His enjoy their nights, Caleb, you dip into your Underdark honey supply and fly off into a wonderful dream. And Lucian, as long as it's not overwhelming, because I know you're just going to get stoned with the queen. So, but you said you wanted me to cut to you.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to offer her the honey and see if she wanted to get stoned.
Which she seems a little surprised because she doesn't know what Underdark honey is. But seeing as you take it completely unfazed, she again a little surprised. takes it cautiously and kind of licking it off her fingers.
Safe for addicted.
No, remember, you only get addicted if you take it like multiple times in a very short span.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, as long as you guys are just taking it like once a week, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Caleb, Lucian, and Agnes enjoy a wonderful dream. Caro, anything noteworthy from you?
I'd say Lucian's dream is just
This
like
depravity is going on. Does Caro have
and
anything to do?
Agnes and Lucian playing on her broom like it's like a fucking party.
It sounds like Caro is not with us at the moment, so we'll leave them for now.
I can't handle all this depravity
Oh no!
going
Wait,
on.
no, I see. They responded in text. All right, yeah, Caro's good. So Caro just settling in for a comfortable sleep after getting again a massage and a hot tub soak. You all, whether it be drugs or women, enjoy your night as the sun sets, night falls, and
Matthew,
yes,
I have drugs and a woman.
very true.
I will also make sure that my money is somewhere safe.
Yeah, now you're feeling self-conscious about it.
Like he's generous, but he's not that generous.
As the sun sets, night falls, and those of you who are still sober, Caro and Zephyr, you kind of listen cautiously, and no gunshots, no screams. While obviously there were some who escaped, it seems you have cut down the Strix population enough that the thirst is either recovering, or if they are feeding, it's infrequently enough to not cause such abject chaos and bloodshed.
I was just thinking to myself, no screaming? Are you sure about that?
And that is where we're going to end tonight. We're not topping that.
I said no screaming. Are you sure about that?
Oh! Hi, puppy.
We gotta end it right there before we get the book thrown at us.
Yeah, before Twitch gets mad. Alright.
We're too small to get away with it.
Alright, we're fine.
If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/Grahamcrackers, GRAMECRACKERZ, for my Friday campaign, The Goldshine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of investigators trying to unravel the cultish conspiracy that threatens to plunge their home into war. We are on our home stretch, the last few episodes before that campaign wraps up. So if you haven't caught up with it yet, I highly recommend you tune in. The players are super talented. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer, getting stoned. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly and support our episodes. Post on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Productions. And Odd Tornado Productions on YouTube if you want to catch up on what you may have missed. Check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other stuff, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That is 5 with a PH, don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link's about to be posted as well. Or on Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Odd Tornado Productions. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd. The TNO are in fact capitalized. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time for our Monday game, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globe-trotting treasure hunters that are trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods to unlock a magical door that can only be opened once every 100 years. But I think that's about it from me. So, thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.